and like their breasts. And I don't do any of that. I can't be bothered with that. I need low maintenance. Yes, I want a guy that I'm attracted to. I don't care necessarily how old they are. I just seem to like attract 36-year-olds that are like cute and fun that I'm like, okay.
And they're also fun. The problem with a 55-year-old, the 55-year-old guy wants to go to bed. He's pooped out.
Well, that's kind of golf. My MO too.
I know, but they play golf all day.
I just want a guy who doesn't want kids or doesn't have kids. Like if you have kids, they have to be like my kid's age, like in college.
You don't want a 4-year-old.
It literally says on my dating app, one of them, I said, we need to be on the same page because it gives you like prompts. Like we need to be on the same page about. And I said about not wanting any more children. I said, mine are raised and I don't want to help you raise yours. Sorry. Like I just don't. I did that with my ex-husband. He had little kids and I was a newlywed with like, 2 4-year-olds and a 2.5-year-old, and I had these little kids in my life who were great. I just don't want to do that again. I don't want to help anybody with math. I don't want to do it.
Good segue. I'm going to touch on what you just brought up. We got to take a quick break because we got to pay for kids stuff around here.
College.
Right after this. And we are back with Jill Kimmel. So you brought up dating apps. So at some point, somebody said to you, hey, you're going to have to try out a dating app thing. Who told you that you're going to have to? Was it your kids?
No. Actually, I got word from a woman in October who said, hey, are you still dating Jason? And I said, who are you? And why are you asking me and reaching out to me on Facebook, random stranger? And she said, I met him on Bumble. And I said, well, I thought we were still dating. So then I signed up on Bumble just so I could try to find him. And I like set my parameters on there of what I thought he would be looking for. And I would just sit there.
So you tried to find your boyfriend.
I was trying to find him. Yeah. But, just to like,
oh no,
but he had gotten off of there. It was like a whole saga. He had a lot of lies to tell, which was fun, but, whatever. He's like, I'll never say a bad word about you in public. I'm like, find a bad word to say. I treated you amazing.
Right.
But, so, I guess just the truth is the truth. Right. So yes, and so then I thought, well, I guess I'm going to have to, because since I'm moving, it's not like I could just meet someone here, and also there's a pandemic. So it's not like I'm going out to bars, like, putting on my favorite lip gloss and trying to attract someone.
So you got out of your marriage, you got into this long-term relationship, you got out during pandemic.
No. I got out of my marriage like 5.5 years. I've been with this guy for
3. So there's about a year in there.
Yeah. So he moved out like last June, but we officially really, let's just say the last time we hooked up was sometime during the month of January. Right.
January of 2020?
2021.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Recently.
So it's pretty recent. Sorry,
DNA
new girlfriend.
Sorry if you're listening.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't know about you either. So it was very recent, but I was on the dating apps because I was moving. And so he and I were kind of like, there was this like, we're together-ish, but we're not.
We're on a break.
We didn't talk for like the whole month of December. So that was kind of when I got on. And I just started looking just to see like, well, I'm moving.
And you got on what? You got on Bumble?
No.
Not for sleuthing purposes.
Because Bumble does not let you look anywhere you aren't. So if I'm in Phoenix, I have to look in Phoenix.
They might have a premium pay now.
Yeah, I don't want that.
They just went public last night as we speak.
Oh, did
she
they?
became a billionaire.
Knock wood.
Right.
Shoot, I should have
So apparently they have some revenue.
Well, I didn't want to have to do that, but Hinge had like the option, and I do pay on Hinge. So if you like scroll by someone that you're like, wait a minute, maybe they were cute, you can go back. That's really the only reason and then you can set more parameters. We're like, I don't want someone who smokes.
So let's go through your parameters.
Okay.
So you don't want somebody who smokes?
No, definitely
So what
not.
if they like, last one, I'm going to put it out for you. I'm going to stomp this one out. I quit.
Great.
We in?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I just don't want to smell like smoke. My hair is very porous. Right. Yeah. My hair is very porous. I don't want to smell like cigarettes all the time.
Well, there's about 10,000 places to do your hair.
And they have to drink. And here's why. If they don't drink, I assume you're a recovering alcoholic and I am not dealing with another addict in my life.
It is a huge red flag that people are like, what? You would need a whole story of why you don't drink.
I actually asked a guy recently, I said, so do you, because it says something like it's been 7 years since I had a drink. So I was like, oh, that's cool. Like, do you just not drink or like you sober? He's like, I'm sober. I was like, good for you. Godspeed. Unmatch. Because Honestly, I'm not dealing with another addict. I don't want to wait and wake up one day and be like, oh, today's the day you fall off the wagon.
Yeah.
Not doing it.
True.
Right.
That's a reasonable one.
Thank you.
Wonderful
and
on your 8 years. You
amazing.
got your chip. Don't go down.
Like seriously, and good for you. And I will applaud you all day long. I just can't put myself through it again.
Yeah. No.
Right.
Smoking as long as it's in the past.
Yeah, sure. I don't care.
Drinking as long as it's in the present.
Right. And I don't want you to be
I want some vices.
I don't want you to be an active lush. I just want to know that we can go out and have a couple of beers and it'll be fine.
Okay. So somewhere between teetotaler and alcoholic is your window.
Yes. Just like a happy medium where you can have a few drinks and you're fine.
That's your sweet spot.
Yes.
3 drinks.
Very sweet.
Okay.
You can have 7. I don't care as long as you're not a jerk when you do.
See, I don't want to be hungover.
I don't
at this
either.
point.
Right.
So that would be like, people
Some
like,
people
you
are
don't drink?
amazing.
I'm like, I don't drink really because I don't want to be hungover.
Yes.
I never had a problem with it, but that, like, the idea of that, I got to the point like, ugh, that seems terrible.
For me, like 2 White Claws is like a perfect night. You know what I mean? Just like, the last time I really got drunk, I was in Vegas. You know, that explains a lot. It was about a year and a half ago, or it was a year ago. And I was flying to Orlando the next day to get on a ship and a cruise ship because I was doing cruises at the time. And I got so drunk. It was just a steady intake of beers. I wasn't like out like doing shots and ridiculous.
Right.
I was sitting with a friend till like 3:30 in the morning, just talking, drinking. And for me, a lot of it is just the staying awake that late, like really messes with me. The next day, I was still drunk, walking through the airport, getting on a plane. It was the worst flight and morning of my life.
To try and like shake it off.
I don't like that. And I don't want to feel that way. But, you know, couple drinks is nice.
Okay. What else are the deal breakers or the must-haves on there?
Deal breakers are kids. You can't have kids that are at home. I can't be dealing with every other weekend with your ex-wife. No, not happening.
What if they're 24 and they moved home?
Sure. That's okay. I'm okay. Because I fully plan on my kids to come home after they're done with college. My daughter's
don't ever move away.
My daughter's in college and she has her own apartment and she figured out that any money she doesn't spend from her college fund, she can keep when she's done with college.
Yeah.
So she will be moving in with me next August. But she's awesome.
Reasonable strategy.
Super cool. She's going to be 19. She's fine.
Okay, so these are all very reasonable so
I think
far.
so. And listen, no matter what your deal breakers are, if your deal breakers are that this woman has to have a thick mustache, whatever it is, it's your deal breaker.
That's very
And
niche.
that's totally fine. If a guy was like, I don't want someone who, whatever, I get it. That's your thing. And I don't want to try to force you to like me.
Do they? Do they have to be employed?
Yes.
I'm trying to be a musician.
Good. What are you doing to pay your bills in the meantime?
This and that.
You're paying your bills?
Most of them.
Which ones aren't you paying?
Little behind on my cell in case you can't reach me.
Oh, yeah, no. Listen, I don't need money. I just need you to be.
You don't want to pay his bills.
Oh, I'll never do that again.
Right. Again. Oh, Jason.
No, Jason paid his own bills. My ex-husband, I had to support.
Oh.
So yeah, no, Jason paid his own bills.
It's our money,
funny
honey. There wasn't that?
No, it was very much like, can't your dad pay it? It was very much like that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Not a fan of that.
And the thing is, a lot of these women out there, they date musicians because they think it's cool. And as soon as that guy makes it, he's usually dumping you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or he's Morgan Wallen and he's using the N-word and you're like, what? No, thank you.
Which actually made him sell more records, which is very
too racist.
Very frightening.
Great. Knock
I know.
yourselves out.
He found his audience.
Yeah.
There you go.
Sure did. Klan rallies. Woo! I hear they don't wear masks, nor they do. They're full masks. So you're COVID safe.
They're safe people. Also reasonable.
Yeah.
So do you have an age window?
Not really. I definitely think 36 is probably the lower end of it, like the tail end. Just because, I don't know, it just has been, but also not a deal breaker, but something I wouldn't like.
Here's the downside of dating the younger without the kids.
Yeah.
They might wake up and want them.
Well aware. Or every time they try to break up with you, they might decide to tell you that they think they want kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's always the card.
And then
they
every
can
time
play.
you come up
it's
with
not
like
you,
a solution,
I just might want,
sure. Then they go, oh, and then a few months later they come up with something else. Whatever.
Is 65 okay, or you got to see the pictures?
65 age?
Yeah.
No. Too old. Because my dad's 75. That's just weird.
I know, but that's not.
65 is way too old.
Bruce Willis is 65,
honestly,
right?
53 is the oldest I would go.
That's really 53 is the oldest you go?
That's my ex-husband's age, and that's how old my brother is. And in my mind, older than that is old. Which it's not, but that's just, I'm 50. Like, to me, I'm old.
How old's like Robert Downey Jr.?
Oh, I'd date him.
See, there's some exceptions.
Yeah, but there's some exceptions, and there
How old's
always
Bruce
would
Willis?
be.
He's like 65.
Too bald for me.
Too bald.
And also,
you
the
just
women
want a little bald?
Listen, here's the thing. You also can't have an amazing body.
Oh.
I don't want an ab guy. I don't want a gym guy.
Well, don't the younger guys have that?
Not ones that I pick. Okay. They're like smooth. They're like
young with the dad bod.
Like borderline. Like they could have no shirt on at spring break and be fine, but also probably shouldn't still be at spring break. Probably. Right. Like, I don't want you to look defined.
That's a very specific win. I think that should be on your profile.
It's hard. That's why it's hard for me to find. I'm very particular.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of dudes roaming around these parts with, they're 68 and they have 3 24-year-old girls who they just buy drinks for and whatever. They have to know deep down that those girls don't like them.
You would think.
I would think that would bother me. I'm like they don't care because they feel like they can play hero to them. Like, I bought your Chardonnay. Aren't I awesome? And
pay for my tummy tuck. I'm totally in. I would 1,000,000% screw around with the thought of maybe dating a 68-year-old. And I'd be like, we can't touch because, I'm self-conscious about my body. And I'd be like, I really want a tummy tuck, but it's like $15,500. I had it priced by Dr. Bull. She's in Tempe. She's really a good surgeon. And then he would offer to pay for it. And then I'd be like, no. And then he'd be like, I insist. And I'd be like, okay. And then as soon as I healed, I'd be out.
Wow,
I'm just saying, like, theoretically.
I've never had that conversation in my head before. Wow, that was spot on. that was good. Because I always wonder, like, but you got out of 20 years of marriage.
Yeah.
It not only is it it's a different world now, it's a different planet in terms of how people behave, how we meet, how we interact. As I said before, we used to have to pick you up.
Yeah.
And the women all the time are like,
God forbid you
I knew the guys better then. No, you didn't. He had a pen and a napkin at 2:00 in the morning.
Yeah, I know them better now because I'm an amazing internet stalker.
Yeah, you can find out a lot more now.
And here's my advice to women. When you get in a relationship, yes, 1,000,000%, you should already have, every woman should already have a fake account on every social media platform. You should already have it set up where you have followers and you follow people and it's all random and you have posts and you click like on things and you comment on things. And then when you start dating someone, you follow them a few months in from that fake account. Because when things inevitably end badly and they block you and make everything private, you're still following them.
Theoretically.
I'm just saying.
That's very...
And then you can text them at 3 o'clock in the morning yelling at them for stuff they posted that they think you can't see. Yeah. It's fun. It's great. It's very healthy.
You're back with her already?
It's very unhealthy. I don't advise that. But if you are someone who does need to know, it is good to have that option.
Do you have a good relationship with your ex-husband?
Yes.
Is he dating?
He isn't. He hasn't dated anyone. I think he went on one date in the entire 5.5 years-ish.
Does that make you happy or does that make you sad?
No, I feel bad for him. I feel like you should have fun. He's like, I'm working on me. I'm like, are you? But I mean, like, he's a good guy. He's a handsome guy. He's certainly a good dad.
Right.
And he has a lot to offer. I always try to set up my friends with him and they're always like, oh my God, we heard all your stories.
I know. He can't
I'm
go
like,
back.
But he's different then.
He's been working on himself.
And he was different with me than he would be with someone else. We're all different with whoever we're with, right?
Do you pay close attention to your kids dating?
Not to the point where my son has been with the same girl it'll be 5 years in June. They met in high school and they are sweethearts and she is an absolute pleasure. Love her and will kill him if he ever breaks her heart. And I think those two will be like my nephew who was with his girlfriend for like 14 years.
Yeah.
They've been together since they were 14 and they just got engaged. Like, just adorable.
Wow.
I hope my son is that way. Nobody wants to have to like.
But do you want to be a grandma that quick?
I don't want to be a grandma right now, but so in like 8 years.
Her, don't love her just enough. Love her, but just.
Well, they're only 20.
They've been together 5 years.
Yeah, but they're in college. They just graduated high school a year and a half ago. Okay. So when they're ready, when they're like 26, 28 or whatever.
So they're going to be good at 13 years.
Like Kevin and Nicole. Yeah, like my nephew. And it's weird. The boys in my family are like, they're like that. They're very like, they meet one girl and that's it. And like, they just, like, I mean, Jimmy had think 2 dates before he met the woman he married. And they were married for like 15 years. They did get divorced eventually, but